It's time to talk MTCS sports. It's Cougar Corner, fueled by Donut Country and McDonald's Murfreesboro.
Presented by Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance. TOA, live your best life. Online at TOA.com.
We're joined by Middle Tennessee Christian School coaches to talk about their most recent games and their upcoming opponents. It's time to talk orange and white on MTCS Cougar Corner.
And welcome to Cougar Corner. I'm John Dinkins here with you today. It's my honor to be here hosting this portion of the Cougar Corner. MTCS and our coach, Greg Eubanks, the head coach of the MTCS boys. And, Coach, we got a lot to talk about today, and not all of it, well, it is basketball related, but not all of it is team related, okay? So you're going to be the spokesperson for Middle Tennessee Christian.
I love it. Good morning,
then,
and I want to say good morning, John. I'm glad to be with you this morning.
We are about getting ready for springtime too. Have you noticed? I know it's cold today, but I think the forecast is getting hard to play basketball inside with the weather being 70 degrees.
It is nice. It is nice to go after practice and I look out and see that there's still daylight.
Amen. Amen to that.
Go to school in the morning, it's dark, and go home at night when it's dark. So it's nice.
Yeah, it's about, isn't it?
Daylight sometimes.
It can be the most depressing, basketball can be the most depressing sport ever because of daylight saving time and not having it. That's my feeling.
Exactly, particularly for my wife, and she comes to the games, and she gets off work, and then she's like, "Oh my goodness, it's probably going to bed," and she just has to drive and come out, and then you get all the lights and that's the great thing about the basketball game: the cheerleaders and the band and the music and the announcers and the energy, and it's a good time every time you can come out to the game.
Absolutely, absolutely, and I can't think of a better place to be than MTCS on a Friday night. Watching some basketball. There's a lot of basketball going on right now. And it is basically the James C. Hill tournament. And, gosh, there's a lot of teams. And I know every year it looks like it's an unbelievable challenge. But you guys do such a great job with that. And I guess you've done it. Everyone's done it so long that it's just second nature. But just really a tremendous tournament.
Well, it takes a tremendous amount of work. And Jason Pierce, the athletic director, and used to be the basketball coach at MTCS, he has been doing it for a long time. And, there's a science to it and trying to organize 90 teams, and certain teams can't play certain days. And sometimes the same coach is coaching the boys and the girls. And sometimes, you've got teams traveling 2.5 hours from literally all over the state to come down and do it. So there's a science to it. But let me tell you, the truth is it's a lot of hard work by a lot of people. And I'm not as involved as I would like to be because we're coaching our own team. But it's a tremendous exposure for our school. We have unbelievable facilities that are able to host games in 2 different gyms. And typically we host the 5th and 6th grade games over in Miller Gym, which is our old original gym, and it's a little bit smaller, but it's a perfect size for a 5th and 6th grade game. And then our middle school plays in our varsity gym, so the gym is jam-packed every single night of the week, and on for the last 3 Saturdays. And so today is Championship Saturday day, and so there'll be games going on. I believe the first one starts around 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning, and the last one starts at our boys are playing at 4:45, I believe, in the championship game of their division. And then there's a championship games later on, even on tonight. And so some really, really good basketball if somebody just likes basketball and likes watching kids play, because the skill level of these kids, of the boys and the girls that are there, is just great. It's really, really great. And so it's a fun day, and the gym will be jam-packed. The parking lot will be jam-packed, and we have great concessions. And, yeah, there's no place else better that you want to be.
Coach, when you look at what a way to show off your school, too. All these teams from different places and parents and grandparents and cousins and nieces and nephews getting a chance to see some basketball all day long. I know that's been a real key to MTCS, but it takes a lot of people to help Jason here with this, and I know the baseball coach, Jamie's involved. I mean, just about everybody is doing something, whether it's concessions or pulling the bleachers out. I mean, there's something to do every day in this tournament.
Yeah, selling T-shirts. Billy Snell, who's one of our assistant athletic directors and has been a PE coach for a long time, he's been really involved. And Randy King, former Oakland coach, he's there to help monitor the gyms and keep everybody under control. And we have teachers that are selling T-shirts and teachers that are working in the concession stand, because it benefits all of the athletic teams and all the athletic departments to help raise the level of the programs that we have to offer. So, and we've got and we do have that as a full service school with our 2 strength coaches and our fantastic weight room, and it's just it's a great place to be. And when we're seeing that with our enrollment numbers too, when we have waiting lists of kids trying to get into our school, and in particular at the middle school level, and we start re-enroll. We've already started re-enrollment for next year, so it's a great place, and it's an exciting place, and we have great leadership, and there's a vision. When there's a vision there, it often helps with just to know where to go. And people perish where there is no vision, it says in Proverbs, and so I really appreciate Mr. Tiller and Dr. Sane and our middle school principal, Mr. Smith, the vision that they have for our school, and they really believe athletics is important, and that's why they've invested in the athletic program that we have with our video boards, and Troy Berry and Kelly Mullins are 2 people in our tech department that really will make the atmosphere special for the kids tonight at the championship game, with spotlights and music and all types of things to really make the kids feel special. And in fact, our girls team played somebody last year in the playoffs. Somebody, or maybe it was the year before, but they came in from a real long ways away, and some of the girls from that team said, "Oh yeah, I remember playing here when I was in middle school."
Yeah,
and they just have really fond memories of that, and so they go on to play in the high school level, and there's this is just a great experience for these middle school kids and their families.
Well, let's speak of the middle school team. They're 19-2, and they're competing. They're going to be, what you said, 445 at the championship game versus Waynesboro. I know you're proud of that group and the coaches there that have done a great job. And the 5th and 6th grade team, 16-4. There's 35 wins there between 2 teams that you're going to see in the coming years here.
Yeah, Blake Oakley is one of our coaches, and he's really headed up that middle school program this year. We've had tremendous interest. We ended up keeping 30 kids in the 5th through 8th grade, and we created 4 teams out of those 30 kids to try to give as many opportunities as possible. So we'd have a 5th and 6th grade varsity, a 5th and 6th grade JV, and then a middle school varsity and a middle school JV. And so those kids have played a lot of games since October, and it's been really good. We have 5 coaches for those teams. So when they practice, it is well organized and focused on fundamentals and focused on teaching and focused on playing really hard and competitive. And so it's been really, really good. Darius Dixon is probably our best athlete on that middle school team, and he has a special motor. It goes 100 miles an hour, and he is an intense player, and boy, he is fun to watch as he just explodes. He's literally exploding all over the court, and he does a great job. And there's other guys on that team who have done really, really well and gotten better. And then we have a 5th grader who's actually Keelan Thomas, who's actually the middle school starting point guard, and he's a special player and can really handle the ball, and he's just a tremendous young man, and who is still technically in elementary school as far as our school goes. And so I always think about how he has to walk in line, he has to eat lunch at a certain spot, and has all these rules that you have to do with elementary school children. Then when he gets on the court, he just goes, and he's a different type of kid. So So Blake Oakley's kind of headed up our middle school program, and then Will Thomas is kind of the head coach for the middle school team, and Eric Owens is helping him out also, and Blake coached the 5th and 6th grade team, and there's other people involved, but it's there's people up in our gym all the time working on their skills, and it's just it's really encouraging and to watch those kids play. And we talked about this a couple of weeks ago, where we have 2 8th graders playing on our high school team, Dre Tyler and Noah Owens, and talked to them this week about kind of trying to keep things in perspective. That if they had stayed on the middle school team, they'd be dominating. Our middle school team's dominating now, but how much more would they be dominating? But how much more they have grown by playing in the high school season this year, because you can't simulate size and speed and those type of things at the middle school level. So those guys are learning how to play at a higher level, so we can just progress. They have their progression move along as to allow them to be the best player they can be. And they've both done a tremendous job on our high school team this year, and we're just going to get better, and we're continuing to work and build and just spend every day trying to get to be the best that we can be. So,
not only mentally but physically, there's a big difference between an 8th grader and a senior in high school. So they have to battle that as too as well, don't they?
You have to. There's a lot of, we talk about, football is a collision sport and basketball is a contact sport. And so there's a lot of loose balls and there's a lot of contact when you go to the basket. And there's a lot of contact on rebounds. And if you don't enjoy contact, you're not going to really enjoy basketball. And so it's part of the game, the physicality. And if you watch Tennessee's playing Florida today, and you watch them. I've been watching some of these Tennessee games this year, and it is so physical. It's unbelievable how guys are just grabbing each other. In the Auburn game with Tennessee last week, the guy grabbed the one player and pulled him down, and they called traveling on the Tennessee player. So so that physicality just works its way down to the high school level too. And so it's been good for them, and they know what they got to work on. And when this season ends, we'll start working on the next season, and it's just a continuous process of how do we get bigger, stronger, faster. And there's time just takes time sometimes, and so that's it's an encouraging thing that we'll add these 8th graders to the roster. And then we've got I forgot about this guy. There's another 8th grader who's ineligible to play because he transferred into our school, and but he's been practicing with the varsity. His name's Carter Scroggins, and we're really excited about him and the type of player he can be. But he's been practicing with the varsity all season and has done a great job with us. And so, the incoming freshman class, the current 8th grade class, is really, really strong. And there's some really strong classes below them. And so it's just going to take time, and we're just going to keep grinding and seeing what we can do to add the pieces to the puzzle.
Greg Eubanks is our guest here on MTCS Cougar Corner. And, Coach, I was talking to Eagleville's coach the other day, last week actually, and he was talking about the injuries he's had. I think you pretty much are right in that same boat, illnesses, injuries, and it's part of the game, I know, but, boy, it sure stops progress a lot of times, but you're getting healthier now.
We are healthier now, but it has been a challenge. It's been a challenge. We have two seniors, and it's just one example of Mike Harvey and Briggs Boyd, and they played their first game together last night, and then the last time that they both played in the same game was December the 20th. And so it has been a long time with both those guys out. We've had guys with broken noses and hurt elbows and mono and concussions. And it's not just been like the flu's going through our team. And we've had hurt ankles. We've had hurt knees. It's just been unbelievable. In my 18 years of coaching, I've never had this many types of injuries. And so it has been an adjustment, and so we've gone into varsity high school games against really good teams with basically a JV team, and you can imagine the results that happened out of that. So for those guys who got to play in those games, it was a good experience and trying to learn what it takes to get at that level, but it's not very much fun at the present time. And so, we got almost everybody healthy again. We're still missing one kid, and he'll probably be out for the rest of the season. And we've actually added a player now because we had Jediah Whitaker transferred in last year, and so he was ineligible for 12 months for the TWA rules that are in effect today. Who knows if they'll be in effect next week or the week after, but that's a different story. But he played in his first game on Tuesday when we played over at Franklin Road Academy, and so he adds some good things to us, and we're anticipating a couple more guys becoming eligible next week, and so that just adds to our depth and it adds to our competitive spirit. And but again, it's kind of when Jediah came in. He has to learn the things that it really takes to win a high school basketball game, which is different from an AAU game and different from playing pickup. There's that physicality that we talk about. It's that being in position. It's that those guys working together in groups of 5. And so, we have a chance to play this afternoon, and we're playing over at Franklin Christian Academy, and I'm really excited to see what we can do with Jediah more in the lineup and added some depth and see if we can learn from this experience and have a good experience over there.
It kind of makes it for a more positive, fun situation that you get to see some of these kids grow, and with the new players as well. And it's not a district that you really need to play JV quality guys. I mean, in terms of, you're playing younger kids and that kind of thing, kids that haven't played a lot, because this district's really, really tough.
Our district's really, really tough. I mean, the other private school in Murfreesboro has the number 1 and number 2 ranked players in the state of Tennessee for the class of 2026, right? So they have 2, in addition to the other guys that they have. BGA has tremendous athletes. They were very good in football, and that one of them is Arnett Hayes, who has the Hayes, of a Rutherford County lore, and his sisters, who are all really, really good athletes that plays over at BGA, and they're even USN has a player that's going to go to Palm Beach Atlantic, and he's a really good player. So our district is full of really good athletes. Not to say anything for our region, because Friendship Christian and Good Pasture, oh my goodness, they're so good and so athletic and have so much size. And so if we can get out of our district, getting out of our region will be a challenge too. So the best basketball is played in Middle Tennessee. And so it's a challenge every single night that you got to go out and you got to give everything you have. And so, but it's a work in process, and we're taking a long-term view to it, and just trying to be patient. And whenever this season ends, we'll start preparing for next season and seeing what we can do to just keep getting better and improving.
You got 2 more district games, Coach, and then it's the district tournament. And, it just seemed like yesterday we were starting practice, and now here we are again. And at my age, I wish it would slow down a little bit. But what are you looking for out of the last 2 games and going into this district tournament?
Here's what I really like about this team. What I really like about this team is they seem to really like each other. And I think we've done a good job in that. I think that's a testimony to the quality of the seniors that we have, the quality of people that we have for the seniors who have set the tone for our team. And we've had some of our best practices. We had our best practices of the year on Monday and Wednesday of this week, where kids were competitive and communicated, and they're just playing so hard. And I just really hope these last few games that we have, that number one, that the seniors may have good memories of them, that they give the very best effort that they have, and I totally, truly believe that they will, because all of our seniors have at times where they've been sick or injured or absent or whatever it is, and so they're still really, really hungry to play. And I just really hope that our team will play until the final whistle, right? Because for all of us, we at that final time, sometimes, there'll be a final time when they say, okay, you can't put the uniform on anymore. And being part of a team is so special. And I really like this team. I like the kids on our team. They really try. They're coachable, and they're good people with good parents. And I'm just so grateful that I'm a part of their lives and that they're a part of my life. And so we're looking forward to that for the seniors. And then for the other kids, for the younger kids, it's just to try to gain as much experience as possible so that come next year, we've been to visit these places. We know what it's like. We know what it's going to take. And we can start with a focus of improvement and being the best that we can. Just using every day as a learning experience.
Well, as one sport is closing, you've got baseball and softball just around the corner. I guess they start practice pretty soon in a couple of weeks, I guess, don't they?
They do. I think they start around February 15th or so. And so, kids have been throwing a lot and doing individual type work. We have a new softball coach this year at MTCS, and I was told yesterday, I think there's like 30 girls or so.
That's awesome. That's an awesome number.
Oh, yeah. Fantastic. And Jamie Carver, Caden King, who's just a junior, but he's already committed to Texas A&M, and Kason Hill, who's already committed to Sanford, and there's a couple other really good players. And speaking of baseball players, Drew Prosser and Nate Fogel are two baseball players who played basketball for us this year. And I said this before, that I think it's just tremendous for them to play basketball, to do something different with their bodies, to have different type of movements, and have different coaches. So I'm really looking forward to what Nate and Drew do this spring, because they're really, really good baseball players. And so it'll be around the corner, and I'm sure we'll have another winter, some more winter weather coming through, and people will be bundled up watching baseball and softball and track and all the different spring sports that we have, tennis. And so, but hopefully spring will be here soon, and the days will get longer, and then before you know it, we'll have graduation. So.
Yeah, and there's always seems to be some kind of project going on at MTCS, and the just growing. I mean, there's something every day, and y'all are always looking. It seems like administration is always looking for new ideas and ways to improve, whether it's the athletic or academic as well. I think a lot of times we forget about on this show about the academic end of it, but there's a lot of things going on, new buildings and that kind of thing.
Well, in fact, if you come by campus or drive by campus just on Memorial Boulevard, our new Early Learning Center is coming to completion. So when it's complete in August or July of this year, whenever it's finished, it is, number one, it's a huge building that kind of sits between our regular building and our softball field. And so now we'll have a circle drive that go all the way around the school and make pick up and drop off much easier. And hopefully there won't be as many cars parked on Memorial Boulevard in the afternoons and in the mornings. But when that's complete, we'll have everybody on the same campus, and it's going to be really, really great. So it's we call it Alpha and Omega, those kids who start from the earliest time until they actually graduate in 12th grade. And it's a great place, and lots of love and lots of memories. And it's really just a place their family can say, hey, if I can plant our flag here, and we're all in. And we're so grateful for those families that just are all into MTCS.
Well, Coach, we appreciate it. You got a busy day ahead of you.
I do.
You've got some middle school, and you got your own game to worry about. That's Franklin Christian Academy, correct?
Franklin Christian Academy, which is a new school to the TWSAA, and they're going to be in our district next year. And so we were supposed to play them at our place, and we played them once already. We were supposed to play them at our place, but the snow got us a couple of weeks ago. And so because of the hail tournament, we're going to play over their place again. So we're looking, again, it's a chance to play with our friends and a chance to compete. And again, I like this team so much.
Well, I don't know how you're going to make that middle school championship and that game too. So
that's going to be. I've got it taped.
There you go.
I'll watch the middle school game tonight. So,
all right.
Yeah.
That sounds good, Coach. I appreciate you talking to us.
Thank you so much. I appreciate all y'all do for high school sports and for the city of Murfreesboro.
All right, that's going to do it for Cougar Corner. I'm just going to wrap it up right here. Appreciate Coach Greg Eubanks and everybody over at MTCS. And I think they're taking applications now, I believe.
Absolutely.
All right. So join us next week when we host Cougar Corner.
Middle Tennessee Christian School, training for eternity.
People love to see us on the schedule when they have a home game because our fans show up.
MTCS President Matt Tiller.
The way we travel is just phenomenal. Our parents and our community are fully engaged in our school. When we compete, we're trying to do it in a way that honors God. We want to win. We also want to do it in a way that pleases Him.
Providing Christian values and academic excellence in a nurturing environment. That's Middle Tennessee Christian School. Invest in the future of your child. Find out more at mtcscougars.org.
Genesee Orthopedic Alliance takes great pride in treating local athletes here in Rutherford County. Here's Dr. Russell McKissick with TOA.
We have a passion here for taking care of our athletes here in Rutherford County. We really do our best to take care of them.
Experts in joint, bones, and muscles.
Many years we've been taking care of athletes around here, and we've just picked up where Dr. John started, and we just keep going.
TOA has a playbook that gets you back in the game. To request an appointment, visit TOA.com or call 855-NEED-TOA. TOA, live your best life.
Middle Tennessee Christian School, training for eternity.
We're going to be an educational institution that teach Bible every day. Every subject we teach, we're going to teach through a biblical perspective. In every aspect of our school, we're going to do it through a Christian perspective.
MTCS President Matt Tiller.
That also means that everything we do, we have to be excellent. We feel like Christ calls us to excellence. And so that means we have to be excellent academically. That means we have to be excellent athletically because that's what God calls us to. It's a great place to be.
Invest in your child's future in an environment that fosters Christ-centered values. To find out more, visit mtcscougars.org.
It's insane.